Hello everyone, welcome back to the LuxCore Pilates YouTube channel. Today I have a 45-minute workout for you with the yoga block. We're just gonna get started with a nice warm up. So you can put your block off to the side, and then meet me in a tabletop position, bringing those shoulders right over the wrists, hips right over the knees. Inhale, drop your belly down, gaze up at the sky. Exhale, round to the back, press the mat away, tuck the chin. Inhale, arch the back. Exhale, round to the spine. Another nice inhale to the nose. Exhale to the mouth. Let's take two more here. On this next one, just meet me back with a neutral spine. And once you're here, you're going to bring your right hand up to the ceiling, circle it out through the wrist, and then switch directions. And then bring your hand down to the mat. I'm just going to turn to you so you can see what I'm doing here. You're going to flip your right hand, the palm over, and then just rock back and forth into the glutes. Depending on your mobility, you might not be able to rock back too far. This is really stretching the forearms and the wrists. You're going to get warmed up with a little bit of bear planking. Take a couple more rocks back and forth. Still connecting with the breath. Make sure you're taking nice big inhales through the nose and exhales through the mouth. And then come back forward. Flip your palm around. This time your left hand will go up to the ceiling. Just take little circles with your wrist. And then switch directions of those circles. And then bring that hand back down, flip the palm over, and then rock back and forth, getting those glutes close to the heels, and then bring it back forward. Inhale as you sit it back. Exhale as you come back forward. On your next one, just hold it back in that tabletop position, and then flip that hand around. Take a couple more cat-cows here. Inhale to the nose. Exhale to the mouth. Round to the back. Really press the mat away on these next two. Last one. Round to the back. Really press the mat away. Stretching into those shoulders. And then come back down with a flat back. All right, you're going to bring the ball in between the thighs. Bring it this way. You can have it either long ways or short ways, whatever works best for you. And then find a nice squeeze on the block. And then come back down to tabletop. Once you have that distance between the legs, that gets yourself a nice little hug onto that block. Tuck your toes under. Inhale to the nose. Exhale, hover off the mat a couple of inches. Inhale, bring the knees back down. Exhale, hover off. Inhale, drop those knees back down. Now make sure you're not sinking into the shoulders here. Think about actively pressing away from the mat. Make sure your shoulders are right over those wrists. Exhaling every time those knees come off the mat. You're going to hold those knees in a hover in 3, 2, on 1. Hold in the hover. Just hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. You're going to twist over to the left. Your left arm is going to come up with control. Bring everything back center. Don't set those knees down. And then twist off to the right. Now, if you feel yourself off balance, think about really squeezing through your core. This is what's going to keep this movement nice and controlled as you switch sides. Make sure you're taking a nice exhale as you twist. Inhale as you come back in. Come back center. We have another hold for 5 seconds. 3, 2, on 1. Pike your hips back. Let your heels fall down to the mat here, stretching into the hamstrings. Take a little rock back and forth. You can lift one heel then the other, bending through the knees. Take a nice inhale through the nose. On your exhale, you're gonna rock back forward into that hover. Hold for a moment, and then pike your hips back. Little pike to plank variation, but in a hover. Pike it back, and then roll it forward into that hover. Make sure you're still squeezing nice and hard onto the block, activating the inner thighs. Hold it back in that pike in 3, 2, on 1, hold it back in that pike. Now just really think about opening up through the upper body. Think about pressing the mat away, relaxing the shoulders, and then walk your hands out just a little bit. This time we're going to take the full pike to plank variation. So you're going to roll it forward into a full plank, and then bring it back. Exhale, bring it to a plank. Shoulders come over those wrists, and then pike it back. Three, 2, on 1, hold it in the plank. Just press the mat away, hold here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set the knees down. Take your block out. You can just rest your hands on the block. Bring those knees nice and wide on your mat. Sink your glutes into your heels. And once you're in this child's pose, giving yourself a little bit of a stretch with those shoulders, with your hands on the block. Take a nice inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Take one more here. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. All right, let's wrap it up and then come to a seated position on the mat. So your feet are going to be long in front of you, legs together, feet flexed. You're going to draw the shoulders on the back, pick up that block, find a nice squeeze on the sides. So like this, squeezing on the side of the block. Again, draw the shoulders on the back. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, articulate your spine down onto the mat. Low back, mid back, upper back. Inhale, lift the head and chest off the mat. Exhale, round forward over those toes. Try to bring the block all the way over the toes. Inhale, sit it back up, and then articulate your spine back down onto the mat. Now you really want to focus on actually squeezing into the block as you come up to keep your upper body engaged. Make sure you're breathing through all of this. Don't hold your breath. Inhale, lift the head and chest off the mat with control. Exhale, round over those toes. Inhale, sit it back up. Articulate your spine back down, low back, mid back, upper back. As you come up, upper back, mid back, low back. Exhale as you come forward. Inhale, sit it back up, and then just pause here. Now you're going to bring your feet flat on the mat. Arms still long in front of you. We're going to take a roll down from here. Low back, mid back, upper back, and then articulate on the way up. Upper back, mid back, low back. Once you're up, bring the block up overhead. And then bring those arms down as you start to roll back down. So similar to that full roll up, we still want this super slow and controlled. Your feet being flat on the mat will give you a little bit extra help. So you should really, really, really focus in this position on articulating nice and slow as you come down and as you come up as well. On your next one, you're just gonna hold it up with your arms overhead. Once you're there, just hold it up, sitting up nice and tall. And then bring those arms down as you find that C curve in that spine. Hold here. In that deepest C curve, see if you can get a little bit deeper. Find that press into the block. You're gonna extend the left leg out long. Take a twist over to the left. and then bring it back center. Take a twist over to the right, and then bring it back center. So you really want to focus on really twisting your body all the way over to the side, and then bring it back center in that deepest C curve. So see if you can challenge yourself, get a little bit deeper as you take these twists. You're gonna hold it center in 3, 2, on 1, hold it center. We're gonna put those two moves together. So we're gonna roll it all the way down. Block comes up overhead. Articulate your spine, upper back, mid back, lower back as you come up. And then extend your leg out and take that twist. So we're just taking a roll up in between. Bring it down. And then back up before you take that twist on each side. Just one more on each side. Find your exhale as you twist. And roll it up. Twist. Bring it back center. Hold in that deep C curve. You can just bring your block right here. Find a little twist to the side. Bring it center. Twist to the side. Bring it center. Keeping those elbows out wide. One more on each side. Twist. Bring it back center. And then you can just roll it down. Great job. Now bring your block off to the side. Your feet are still in that bent position. You're just gonna find little windshield wipers with those legs. And also bring those arms up overhead to stretch those shoulders as well. And then bring those knees back center. Bring them into your chest. And just hold here. Take little circles with those knees in each direction. All right. And now we're gonna get into some of the parts of the series of 5 using the block. So you're gonna bring your right leg to tabletop. Press the block into your right knee and then press your hand into the block. So you wanna try to get your shins parallel with the mat. Bring your left hand behind your head. Curl your head and chest off the mat. Bring your left leg to meet the right. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Extend your leg all the way long. Inhale, bring it back in. Exhale, extend. Inhale, bring it back in. So you really want to think about actively pressing into that block and keeping that leg at 90 degrees. Shins parallel with the mat. As your leg goes out long, you really want to think about extending your leg all the way out, pointing through the toes, taking the bend out of the knee. Keeping the elbow wide as well, engaging at the core. You're gonna hold that leg out long in 3, 2, on 1, hold it out long. Just pulse your hand into the block, little pulses for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the knees into the chest, bring the block over the knees. Take little rocks back and forth. All right, this time you're gonna bring that left leg to tabletop, shins parallel with the mat, legs at a 90-degree angle. Press your left hand into the block. Right hand comes behind the head, curl the head and chest off the mat, and then bring your right leg to meet the left. Inhale with the nose, exhale with the mouth, extend the leg out long. Inhale, bring it back in. Exhale, extend. Elbow is nice and wide with your right hand. Taking the bend fully out of the knees every time you extend that leg long. Now modification here is just to set that head down and just focus on working the leg. You got this. You're gonna hold your leg out long in 3, 2, on 1, hold the leg out long, find those pulses into the block, squeeze that block into the leg, keeping your leg at 90. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the knees into the chest. Just bring the block right over the shins. Find a little rock back and forth. All right, now we're gonna curl the head and chest off of the mat, squeezing into the sides of the block with your hands. So just like this, staying in this ball, and then keeping your head and chest exactly where it is now. Find your exhale, extend your arms and legs long in opposite directions. Inhale, bring it back in. Exhale, bring it out. Inhale, bring it back in. Again, a modification here is just to set that head down and just work the arms and legs. But if you can, keep that head up. Make sure you're not straining your neck and looking up at the ceiling. Find your gaze on your core or your upper thighs. Exhale, bring it up long. Inhale, bring it back in. 3, 2, take one more, and bring it back in. Shins, block comes over the shins, set the head down. All right, we're just taking one more here. So you're gonna bring the block between the ankles now. So it looks like this. So between your ankles, the block is a long ways. You're gonna be squeezing super hard into the block. So you can just keep your hands by your side. Keep that head on the mat. Inhale, lower your legs down to 45. Exhale, pick them back up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. So really, really, really think about squeezing into the block the entire time. Waking up the inner thighs. Now, if you want to progress this to the last few, you can curl the head and chest off the mat, elbows wide, and bring it down and up. Keeping the legs nice and long, pointing through your toes. Only bringing your legs down as far as you can without that lower back arching super high off the mat. 3, 2, 1. Remove the block, set it off to the side. Bring the knees into the chest. Find little circles with your knees, releasing the low back in each direction. And then plant your feet back down onto the mat and find those windshield wipers with the knees. And bring your knees into the chest and rock forward and back until you come to a seated position. All right. Now we're going to get into our arm circuit. So we're gonna start off warming up the upper body with some tricep push-ups. So you're gonna bring the block, I'll demo the left side first just so you guys can see better. But bring the block off to the left side of your mat, left front side of the mat. And then bring your left hand on top of that block. Bring your right hand beside it, coming onto the knees. And then rock forward until your shoulders are right over the wrists. Now try to keep your body as square as possible here. And you're gonna lower down to the mat. Exhale, press away. Take that push-up. Tricep push-ups. The block is giving us a little extra challenge in that left side right now. Try to keep that body squared off to the front, not shifting the hips over to one side. Now you can also push back in between. So you can take a nice little push back, which will give you a little extra momentum as you come forward to stay in it. We're doing 2 rounds of these, 1 on each side. So take whatever variation you need. If you're good here, just taking those tricep push-ups back to back, feel free to do so. You have 10 more seconds in this first round, and then we'll switch the block over. 3, 2, on 1. Just find that child's pose. You can just take your hand off the block. Give yourself a nice little stretch. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. All right, this time we're bringing the block over to the right side. Again, bring that right hand on top of the block, left right next to it. Once you're on the knees, rock forward until your shoulders are right over the wrists. Inhale, bring your chest down. Exhale, press away. And then if you would like, you can find that push back flow through this on this side, burning out the triceps, waking up the upper body. You would like, you can also take 2 push-ups and then a push back. You can make this whatever you need. Now, one thing I really want you to focus on is as you come down, make sure you're not arching to the back at all. 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Find that child's pose. Just let yourself hang here. Relax the neck. Relax the shoulders. Inhale to the nose. Exhale to the mouth. And this time, just bring your arms as far forward as you can. Inhale with the nose. Exhale with the mouth. And then rock it up. All right. So we're going to bring the block coming into a kneeling position. We're going to bring the block into the hands. Now really find a nice squeeze, just like we were doing in a lot of the core exercises. Find a squeeze on the side. We're going to take a bicep curl and then bring the block up overhead. Bring it down. As you come down, really squeeze through the biceps before you bring it back up. Now it's important when you're on your knees that you're not arching through your back here. You're going to find that little pelvic tuck, and then from there you're working the arms. Now we're not using weight, so you really want to find that mind muscle connection. Think about really squeezing through the biceps and then pressing through the shoulders as you bring the block up overhead. Keep flowing through that. We're going to keep the block up overhead in 3, 2. On your next one, hold the block up overhead. We're just going to bring it down to shoulder height and then bring it back up with control. Down to shoulder height, so make sure you're not arching to the back. Draw the shoulders down the back. Bring it down. Make sure you're really, really squeezing into the block because that'll make the biggest difference here. You're going to hold the block up overhead in 3, 2. Hold the block up overhead on 1. You're going to bring your arms down, shoulder height, and then bring it back up. Bring it down to shoulder height. Still finding that super hard squeeze on the block. Now arching through the back. Find your exhale as you bring the block back up. You're going to hold the block up overhead in 3, 2, on 1. Hold the block overhead, and then bring it down to the thighs with control. Now bring the block up to shoulder height, and then bring it back down for some lateral raises. Make sure your shoulders are drawn down the back. Make sure your shoulders aren't creeping up towards those ears. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Bringing it to shoulder height every time before you bring it back down, squeezing onto the block. You're going to hold your arms out long in 3, 2, hold it out long on 1. Now bring your hands underneath the block, just holding it. Now you're going to shift the block into the right hand, open the arms up to the side, bring it back center. Open the arms up to the side and bring it back center with control. The block should not be moving and rocking back and forth. Finding a nice squeeze to the back too as you bring the arms back. And then back in. Exhale, arms go out. Inhale, they come back in. You're gonna hold your arms back in center in 3, 2, on 1. Transfer that block over. Opening up. And then bringing it back in. Really squeeze through the back, recruit those back muscles to help you keep those arms up. Again, make sure your shoulders are drawn down the back. You don't want your shoulders creeping up here. Draw them down and keep flowing through this. Great job, y'all. Stay in it. Your arm's gonna break after this. In 3, 2, On one, complete this last one and bring the arms back center. And then drop it down. All right. Roll the shoulders back. Now that was a long sequence of no break, but we're not using a weight. We don't have to use body weight. And then control with the block. Really important with the arm work with the block to really squeeze the sides, so that'll help activate the muscles even more. All right. We just have one last little sequence for the arms, and then we'll move on. So find a little hinge forward. Make sure you take the arch out of the back, and then bring the block up overhead, squeezing into the sides. Bring the arms up overhead, and then bring it back down, taking those triceps, and then really make sure you're squeezing onto the sides of the block, and then make sure your head is in line with the spine as well. So once you're set up there, you might need to bring your head up just a little bit to make sure that it's in line with your spine. So you probably feel your shoulders still burning here. So we're bending forward and we're really squeezing onto the block. On 3, 2, on 1. Find that halfway point. Take little pulses, little lifts, little exhales. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring the block down. All right, great job. All right, now we're gonna get into some glute work. We're gonna stay on the mat. So just bring your block with you as you bring your head down to the mat. Now once you're here, you want to place the block in between the thighs. Find a really nice squeeze on the block here as well. And then make sure that your heels aren't too far out. We're going to do some glute bridges. So make sure your heels are pretty close into the glutes. And then from here, bring the arms up overhead for a little extra balance challenge. If you do need more stability during this sequence, then you can feel free to just bring your hands down onto the mat. But for now, let's just try to bring them up. The first one, we're gonna do a really nice slow articulation to the spine. So you're gonna lift up, low back, mid back, upper back. And as you come down, you wanna think about bringing it down, upper back, mid back, lower back. So articulate up, upper back, mid back, or lower back, mid back, upper back. And then as you come back down, upper back, mid back, lower back. So just really think about finding this articulation through the spine. Head is going straight up to the ceiling, so you're not straining through the neck, you're not staring at the thighs or anything like that. Now on your next one, you're gonna hold it up, articulate nice and slow, lower back, mid back, upper back, and then from here, think about this sensation right now. You found this neutral spine, you're not arching to the back, and then from here, you're just gonna lower the hips down, exhale, lift back up, inhale, lower, exhale, lift. The block isn't just resting there in between your thighs. You're actually squeezing into the block the entire time. Find that really nice squeeze and lift those hips up and down. Finding your exhale as you come up. You're gonna hold the hips up in 3, 2, on 1, hold the hips up. Pop your heels off the mat, coming down onto the toes, and then lower the heels back down. Pop up to those toes, and then lower. Keeping those hips nice and high. Just lifting and lowering through the heels, coming high on the toes. Still connecting to your breath here, taking inhales through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Hold high on those toes in 3, 2, on 1, stay high on the toes. Lower the hips down to the mat. Exhale, lift it back up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Touch those glutes down on the mat. And then bring it back up with control. Really important here to make sure you're not speeding through this. You'll get way more out of this if you have nice self-controlled movements. and you really focus on squeezing into the block the entire time and staying high on the toes. Hold it up in 3, 2, 1. Hold it up. Take little pulses here. Get those hips higher. 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Hold the hips up. Now squeeze into the block. Little squeezes, keeping the hips in the same place. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, on. When bring the glutes down to the mat, come off the toes. You can bring the block just up overhead, taking little windshield wipers with those legs yet again. All right, then we're gonna rock it up. I'm gonna do some tabletop glute work with this block as well. So you're gonna bring the block underneath the right knee and then come down into a tabletop position. So shoulders right over those wrists. And then from here, you wanna make sure you're not arching to the back. Find that little pelvic tuck, core engaged. Exhale, lift your left leg up. Inhale, drop it back down to the mat. Exhale, lift back up. So while we're on this block, you want to really think about keeping your hips squared off to the front. You're not shifting your weight over into the right side. The block is always giving us that extra little balance challenge, but it's also giving us more range of motion in this left leg now that we have that little lift. Find your exhale every time you bring the leg up. Find your inhale as you come back down. Now make sure you're not sinking down to the shoulders like this. You want to stay pressed away from the mat. And check your back one more time. Make sure you didn't start to arch. You're gonna hold your leg up at the highest point in 3, 2, on 1. Hold it up here. Bring your leg over to the right. Tap the toe, and then bring it over to the left. Little rainbows with the legs. All the way, tapping the toe onto the mat. And then bringing it up and over the other side. Again, still keeping your hips squared off here. You're not sinking over into that right side. Hold your leg up, back center in 3, 2, 1. Hold it up. Find little pulses here. Leg is still super straight, still pointing through the toes, still lifted through the upper body. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that leg down. All right, let's switch sides and bring it over to the left knee now. And find a nice position with your shoulders right over the wrists. And then from here, just bringing that right toe down to the mat. Make sure you're not arching to the back. Exhale, lift your leg up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale every single time. Make sure you're pressing away from the mat. Don't sink down into those shoulders. It'll start hurting your wrists. Keep your head in line with the spine as well. And keep your hips square so you're not dumping into the left side. If you need to here, just press a little bit harder into the right hand. We hold it up in 3, 2, on 1. Hold it up, rainbow it over to the left. Tap the toe, and then rainbow it over to the right. Tap the toe. Try to tap the toe down every time to make sure you're getting the full range of motion out of this move here. Breathing through it. Check if your back started to arch. If it did, find that pelvic tuck a little bit more. Bring it back center, leg lifted in 3, 2, on 1. Keep that leg up, find pulses, little pulses with that leg. Keep it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that leg down. Great job, y'all. All right, we're done with the glute section. Now we're just gonna do some oblique and side work to finish off this 45-minute workout. All right, so first one, we're gonna actually just press into the block, and then you're up nice and lifted through the left side. Left forearm's propped. Now you're gonna bring the back leg, the top leg, behind the front leg. So it's now in the back. Quick inner thigh series, and then we'll get into the obliques on this side. So you're gonna find a nice straight leg pointing to the toe. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Make sure there's no bend in this knee. Leg is nice and long. Make sure you're not sinking down to the shoulder. Press away from the mat. Hold your leg up at the highest point in 3, 2, on 1. Hold it here. Take little circles forward. Nice, slow, and controlled. Make sure all the work is coming from the inner thigh. Reverse directions in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse. Little circles. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just bring the leg down and then bring the top leg back on top of the bottom leg. Now you're gonna bring the block up overhead. And then inhale through the nose. Find your exhale, keep your legs together. You're gonna find that little side teaser. Block goes to the toes. And then bring it back forward. Exhale, lift. Inhale as you lower. So stay nice and lifted through the upper body. Make sure your legs are glued together every time that the legs come up. Only 5 more here. You've got this. Also make sure you're taking this with control. You don't want to just throw those legs up in the air. You want it to look like you're controlling the movement as you come up and you come down. You have 2 more. On your next one, just hold it here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back down with control. All right, let's switch sides. We're almost done. Onto the right forearm this time, nice and lifted. Bring the block in front of you, squeeze into it with the left hand. Legs come nice and long at a diagonal on the mat. And then bring that top leg behind the bottom leg. Straighten out that bottom leg, point through the toe. Again, make sure you're nice and lifted through the upper body. Take an inhale through the nose. Exhale, lift the leg up. Inhale, lower it back down. All that work is coming from that inner thigh. Take that exhale every single time. It'll help you get that leg up high. Holding that leg up in 3, 2, 1. Holding at the highest point. Take small, slow, controlled circles forward. Make sure there's no bend in your knee still. Still pointing through your toes. And lift through the upper body. You reverse these circles in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse. Breathe through it. You're almost out of this inner thigh work. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set that leg down. Bring the top leg back on top of the bottom leg. And then bring the block up overhead. Make sure your legs stay nice and glued together. Take an inhale with the nose. Exhale. Find that side teaser. Block goes to your toes. Inhale. Bring it back down. Again, make sure you're controlling this motion on the way up and on the way down. And those legs being together is super important. Also, you want to try to keep those legs as straight as possible, so your knees aren't bending here. Try to touch that block to the toes every time. 3, 2, on 1. You're gonna hold it here. Feel those inner thighs firing up. 3, 2, 1. Bring it down with control. Set the block off to the side. And now it's time to stretch. Great job. Absolutely killed that. You'll be surprised how much the block can really just enhance a routine. Love using it in my classes all the time. Let's just take some seated cat-cows to finish off. All right, sit up nice and tall in this crisscross position. And then you're gonna pull your knees back as you arch the belly forward. Exhale, round through the spine, arms go long. Inhale, arch the belly forward. Exhale, round through the spine. Take one more. Nice big exhale on this last one. Then bring it back center. Now bring your head off to one side and then extend the arm in the opposite direction. If you want to deepen it even more, you can bring this hand up and over. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Drop the hand back down. And then take circles in one direction with that head. Releasing any tension in the neck and in the shoulders. And then when your head gets to the other side, let it hang there. Extend the opposite arm out to the side. And then if you want something extra, bring the other hand up and over. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And bring the hand back down. And then take circles in the opposite direction. Then bring your head back center. We're just going to finish off with some shoulder rolls to the back. So nice big exaggerated shoulder rolls. And then reverse directions. Bring those shoulders to the front. And then you can just draw the shoulders down the back and we are done. Great job. Thank you so much.